Janet, not too far away, closer in. Come on. Come on, darling.
I don't like to do it.
Tell me when you're ready.
We wouldn't be studying.
Oh, she's already ready. I love it when she pre-warns me we started the Facebook Live. Hi, and welcome from Hartlepool R.S.P.C.A radio show. Apparently, according to Graham, the gobby one, I think was round about what he said, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was.
Yeah. An opinion of say what you see. I'll tell you what I see in Hartlepool today. So amazing advocates that have come together for a dog that should not have been shot in Hartlepool. I've been told even by the MP it doesn't happen in Hartlepool, and it never should have happened in Hartlepool. So I just want to bring on these beautiful advocates in to explain the day when they were stood here on the day probably just like today, am I right? Is it a bit like today?
-4.
-4.
Oh, -4.
Maybe. Freezing and snowing. Cold, snowing.
So Graham, do you want to start off really with...
Well, we'd obviously Hillary had posted an image of a dog that was abandoned here, and we were on Facebook, on the Town of Hartlepool Facebook. We saw the message, came straight down, and we're down here pretty early, and there was a few wardens here, and obviously Angel was tied to this. The people that we were with as well were hand feeding the dog, and she seemed to be pretty amiable, barking at the odd person, but nothing that you would say that was, you know what I mean, untoward. And then obviously we rang our daughter, she come down. I mean, we actually came down to take her home. You know, that was the weird thing. We came down to actually take her home. You know, and obviously the police were here and that, and we stayed here for about 5 hours. Wasn't it? About 5 hours too.
Yeah.
We assumed the R.S.P.C.A were going to come and sort it out and make everything right, which wasn't the case. It seemed to get worse.
Yeah. Now, like I've said to all of you, I'm here for you, but I've got to give the other side. So, obviously, the question's been asked to me by quite a few people: why didn't they just take the dog? Now, I've obviously spoken to you, Jenna, and I know you're. I've got to say, all of these guys have literally got really emotional because this is the actual place where it happened. They can feel, even the dog, the little dog over there, was literally stood looking at the tree as if she knew. So, but Jenna's actually spoken to me and said that there was a reason that they didn't take the dog is because they were worried that if the dog was actually taken off and it went and bit somebody, then it was actually going to be put down. Never thinking for 1 minute that the actual charity that's supposed to be saving these dogs and the police that are supposed to be saving the public were actually going to shoot the dog that they were trying to save. They were willing to take it home. They were willing to make a difference.
That's right.
You know, and do you want to follow on with that, Jenna? You know, just give a bit more.
Yeah. So obviously we were under the impression that we were going to rehome her. But that was our worry. If we untied her, the worry was if she did end up biting one of us or anybody else, it would give the police justification to essentially put her down, which was our main concern. It was our main worry, to be honest.
Well, they said they couldn't sedate her because that would kill her.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So
hindsight's a funny thing, isn't it?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And they were waiting for a vet, and we stayed here for that length of time under that assumption, waiting for a vet. And the police said, we don't know where the vet is, because we're still waiting for the vet. And that's what we were waiting for the whole time. Until it just started snowing, and then the decision was
turned up, did they? No, there was
no one turned
here.
up, never. No vet.
The police weren't even around this side. They were across the bridge. They weren't even here. There was just us.
Yeah.
So what time did the actual police come then?
They got a call out at was it about 7 minutes past 10? They got a call out and they turned up here on the morning, and we turned up not long after, really, didn't we? And they were there, but they weren't always here with her. They kept walking up onto the bridge, which is quite far in the distance.
I would say there was an hour and a half stage where
Yeah.
there was nobody but us for an hour and a half.
But I mean, the dog was frightened, wasn't she? So I mean, you could feed her by hand, but as soon as you tried to put a hand on her to release her, she panicked and she did bark. And we knew that the police would just put her straight to sleep if she'd bitten any of us.
Yeah.
But it was a bark with a low wag. You know,
she was frightened. You could see she was afraid.
It wasn't an aggressive bark.
No,
It was a low wag. She was quite, you know.
Yeah.
There was
And
no
at no
aggression.
point was I afraid of it. I just
No.
knew
No,
We
no.
were stood
what
here.
would happen.
We were literally
Yeah.
so close.
Yeah.
You know,
It's
we-
just
we-
a
we
mistrust of
really
the
were.
authorities.
Well, you
isn't
could
it,
talk.
as
We were
know?
talking to her. And she said, "Oh, you sweetheart, beautiful," you know, and stuff
Yeah,
like
she
that. And
wagged
she
her
was
tail.
wagging her tail,
Yeah.
so we're actually conversing.
But we
with
were
her.
all-
She did actually take commands, didn't she? She
Yeah,
was
she
sitting
told her
and
to sit.
laying when she was told.
Yeah.
We
So when
said,
she started
sit down,
barking,
she'll sit,
yeah.
and she would lay down.
So you know, dangerous dogs
Yeah.
don't normally take commands.
No.
No. But she was, I mean, even when we were all stood around, she was just laid. She was happy. She was happy for us to be in her company.
Yeah, it
she
seemed to
was-
be company. I think she was
Yeah.
happy with that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She'd been left for so long
Yeah.
without any company, so she was pretty settled with like human company.
But
Yeah.
she'd been here since the early hours of the morning. She was cold, she was hungry, she must have been in pain because she was tied so tight to that post. She had no
How
bit
close
room
was
to
And
she
move.
there's
to
the
the post?
rear like she was next to it.
She
Next to it,
literally-
yeah.
there's the
you can see the
photo. She
picture
can't
there. You
get.
can see the photo. She can't get anywhere. She
I would
couldn't
say
move.
that.
So just zoom in on the picture, right?
It
12
wasn't.
inches
The
maybe,
lead was
you know,
threaded
tops.
through the handle and clipped back onto her
Right.
collar, so she couldn't move. She could only stand up and lay down. She couldn't move away from the post.
It's just that thought of her being there and watching her owner just
Yeah,
walk away.
exactly. Exactly.
You could have
Waiting for
contacted
somebody to
anybody on
help her.
Facebook
Yeah,
to say anyone
waiting
wanted
for
this
someone
dog.
to turn up. You know, it's
Yeah.
you know.
So which one of you were actually here on the day then? You were all
Yeah.
all
We were
of
all
you?
Us
here.
was
I
three,
wasn't here
yeah.
on the day, but it's affected me so much.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Dawn's been amazing.
She
Now,
has, yeah.
you've actually had people message you
Oh, Jenny.
quite vile stuff, to be fair. I mean, this is going to be a different story, but I do want to mention to people that,
Yeah.
that Dawn's had some absolute horrific, and I'm going to actually get her to send me these screenshots and stuff
And
of
I've
the
got 'em
horrific
all.
Yeah.
I've got 'em all.
pictures. And we've actually had, and I'm not going to go too much into it because at the moment it's about Angel, but I just want to say to the people that sent Dawn these messages, we will find out who you are. I've already had people tell me of names and stuff, and also that you had your damn website shut down for your shit that you shared. Well, that's not acceptable. It's just not acceptable. These people were advocates with hearts, and you think that we're just going to sit back and let you do that to our advocates? No, we unite even more. So, you know, it's just not acceptable. So how has it affected you, Dawn? Obviously you've had those idiots sending you.
Well, even before that, I was felt so passionate about what had happened. That's probably why it upset me so much about what happened on that particular site. The vile things that were coming out of supposedly professional people, and over a situation like this, it was just. It's right. You're right. It's unacceptable. It should never have happened. But what actually happened to Angel just affected me so much, and I trust these people that were here that day. I
Yeah.
wasn't here that day, but I trust these, and I trust how they must have to even feel a fraction of what you're feeling must be absolutely horrendous to witness what you witnessed.
Yeah.
And
them.
it will never
We
leave
begged
you because it would never leave
We
me.
literally
Doesn't-
Yeah,
begged them to
that will
wait.
you'll have this with you for the rest of your life.
Oh, it'll never
Yeah.
leave us.
It'll never leave you ever.
Yeah.
Ever.
Physically
And
being here and filming it.
I know.
Yeah.
Because the photo
Yeah.
I took there is the photo that's gone around the world.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I wish I'd have took more.
I mean,
Yeah.
even being
Don't.
back here, you can
Yeah,
just. You
it's-
can,
yeah, it's-
Well, the
it's
silence
weird.
when we did
Brings us back.
the silence linking of the unbroken chain,
Yeah.
that got to me.
That's,
Yeah.
that's the
That-
2 minutes it took
Yeah.
them from the first shot to the second shot.
Yeah.
to
And
kill
that
her.
were a long time.
Yeah.
We
Didn't
was
it
feel
feel
like
like a
quite
long
a while.
time?
It
That's
felt
why
a
we
long
said.
time,
Yeah, that's
didn't
why we
it?
said 2 minutes because it's.
It
Yeah.
did, and it was round about that time that they did it as well.
It was the known that we couldn't do anything else. It was
Yeah.
the known that they wouldn't listen, they wouldn't do it. It was the known that was it.
We absolutely
Finality,
begged them.
yeah.
And I think it comes back to like when we did the show talking about Justice for Angel, we actually spoke to Jim Crosby,
Yeah.
and his words exactly were on the show was the fact that it's all about time.
Yes.
And I think this is what you're saying is that, you know, you'd been here for 5 hours. What was the rush then?
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Why couldn't they
Exactly,
just
yeah.
wait for these people that
We
came
knew
from
as
Devon?
soon as it started
we knew,
snowing,
yeah,
Yeah.
that's right.
Yeah.
the
we knew
decision
when
was
it
made
started
within
snowing.
1 minute. We'd
Yeah.
come over and said, right, this is going to happen, we're going to shoot the dog.
Yeah.
As soon as it started snowing. The
changed
police
it.
had enough to think, hang on, we're cold, we're wet. The R.S.P.C.A. told everybody, right, we're going to shoot. It's their decision, we're going to shoot. And the vet said she's a dangerous animal. End of.
Yeah.
It was the shock. It was all of a sudden 1 minute. It was like the R.S.P.C.A. here. We said,
Yay!
She's fine.
Yeah.
She's
Yeah.
fine. It was an elation.
Yeah.
It was like, wow, finally. Do you know what I mean? Yes. And the R.S.P.C.A. woman came on. She hand fed Angel, and I said to you, didn't
Yeah,
I?
we
I said,
thought that was it,
I said
yeah.
she's got her. She's got her. I
Yeah.
said she's hand feeding her, and it just
Yeah.
changed. And it was so surreal to be stood there thinking,
For to be so
What's
up to be so down.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's gone wrong? What's changed? You know, it's
But it's all the things they said afterwards, you know, the lies they told about having no other options, and, you know, it was about safety for the public because the dog could be running free. The dog couldn't go anywhere, it was tethered.
You can see.
You can see that, fences all around.
even if she
No,
got out, where could
it's
she
scared
have
around.
gone?
There's a
Well,
fence.
I've actually videoed the whole area, and it's huge.
If you look at it on Google Earth,
Yeah.
you'll see there's nowhere
Yeah.
to go.
She couldn't,
Yeah,
even if
exactly.
she'd got out,
There's nowhere to get
there
through.
was nobody round here, you know.
And let's face it, she would have probably gone back to her owners.
Yes, she would.
Let's be fair, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
She probably would have got off and gone to the owners, but
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah.
But, so what about you? I'm sorry, I'm going down
Hillary.
this slowly. Hillary, come on, Hillary.
Well, I was in the flat, watching everything from the flat, so obviously didn't hear any conversations that were going on. Just
You heard the shots though, didn't you?
You
but
heard
I heard the shots. Yeah, I was stood at one of my windows, and I heard the first shot, which was quiet. I thought, oh, was that a shot? Yes, must have possibly.
Yeah.
It was a quiet shot. I ran to the other window because there was a group of people that had gathered at the bottom of their van street just to see their reaction. And then I heard the dog bark and thought, shit. It hasn't been shot. What's going on? Ran back to the same window, got my binoculars and watched I don't know whether it was the same one because obviously I couldn't say whether it was the same policeman or not. But he'd just walk over and stand over, and he just stood over with a handgun and shot her.
How far away was the first shot?
Well, the first shot was the fence,
First
wasn't
shot
it?
was the fence, yeah.
So why they had to shoot
So
her from the
why?
fence?
That's what we do.
Why?
as
I mean,
well.
that's
that's
another
the
question.
distance.
Yeah,
Why?
back to the
we
fence,
don't
and he
know.
shot her from there.
She
So
wasn't a
how
moving
many
target.
other people were around at that time?
Oh, there was about 20 up there.
Yeah, there was quite a lot.
In this area?
Well, we
Oh,
actually
everyone was
know.
outside. We're all
Oh,
Yeah,
right,
what
okay.
we did is when we heard that she was going to be shot, we took to Facebook to try and get everybody
down,
down
yeah,
here
with
because we thought
feedback,
the more people on here, you know,
Yeah.
the better.
So
But
a
I
lot
just
of
can't
people did
understand
turn up.
why.
Yeah,
I mean,
they did
she
turn
was
up towards
tethered
the
to
end.
a pole. I
Well,
can't.
the policeman actually said to us, didn't he? If you can get somebody down with experience to take her,
Yeah.
that was the other option. And we were like, right, we will.
Yeah, so we did.
So we did.
And so we had someone on the way.
There's someone in the way.
And then
We
they
had
How,
it-
they
far,
had
how
went
far
ahead.
away when she was actually shot were they?
An hour and a half or so. She was coming from Devon,
She's
Yeah.
so she'd been travelling
Oh,
for
yeah,
2.5 hours.
But she was on the way. She was
But
in
she
the
was
car
here,
on
and
the
she
way.
told the police she was on her
amazing,
way.
Yeah, she
Yeah,
even
she
rang
is.
the police. She rang the police and
But
said,
they
"I am
dismissed her.
on my way."
Yeah.
And they said,
And she offered Angel a place for life at her
Yeah,
sanctuary.
she did, yeah.
She's got the Burkett
she
Smith Animal
deals
Sanctuary.
with Caucasians.
Yeah.
Caucasian
She's breed
shepherds.
specific.
So, yeah, she's breed specific.
See, there's so many questions, isn't there? It's not just.
Yeah.
Well, the
why
police
she
won't
was shot,
talk to
why
us, the
did
police
they-
won't answer any
Just
questions.
put a block on it.
R.S.P.C.A won't even say they were here.
All of our freedom of information requests, all of them
They
have
were
been
never here.
denied.
They won't
Everything.
admit
So-
which branch attended. They
Yeah,
won't
they
tell
won't
us.
give us. No.
So, just for the record then, did she speak in the camera? Ask them for exactly what you want. Because obviously, Cleveland Police, what do you want from them?
We want an open inquiry. That's what we want. We want a public inquiry, and we want them to stand there and tell us what went wrong. We need to know what went wrong. We can't move on and put things right if we don't know what went wrong. And while there's this wall of silence, we're never going to know, and we're never going to be able to move on. So until we can make changes for the future, which is what we're hoping to do, change the policies so that they contact the right people. You need experienced capture teams, even breed specific at times. They need to know what they're dealing with and how to deal with it quickly without distressing the dog. It's all got to be about the animals, not about just dispatching them for quickness. It needs to be about the animals. We need a register, and it needs to be used by all of the police forces and R.S.P.C.A. Whoever is contacted, they need to know what to do, and that's what we're working for the future. But we really need all the authorities involved to stand there and tell us what went wrong, because we know mistakes were made. They know mistakes were made. Just say it. Just tell us.
Just
it's
admit
not a
it,
witch hunt.
openly admit it.
Yeah.
No, we're not a vigilante group. We want answers, and we want to learn from them and move forward. That's what we want.
We want to ensure that this never happens again.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Yeah.
And we're not going to go away until that is absolutely
Yeah.
addressed.
Ignoring us is not an option.
Right, now, obviously this morning I've spoken to many of you, and the one thing that I did ask you was obviously the dog warden situation, because everybody knows the law is if you find a dog, you have to report it to the dog warden,
Yeah.
and then they keep it for 7 days, and after that it either goes up for adoption or whatever, do you know what I mean, whatever the process may be. I've actually heard from you guys today that the dog wardens are actually on a Saturday and Sunday are actually from the council tip. Is that right?
Yeah, Karen,
Council
didn't you find
workers,
that? Didn't you find that?
That's what we believe. We've
It is true.
Yeah, we've checked the hours, haven't we? And they only work like 9 till 4:30.
We've been in there, the
Monday
work.
to Friday.
The work there.
So when it's out of hours, then council workers take over the role of dog wardens. How qualified or trained they are for that, we don't know. But that apparently is what happens here.
Right. So is that what council is that? Is that's
Hartlepool.
Hartlepool
so,
Council.
so Hartlepool Council, I am going to be emailing you and I'm going to be getting in touch with you because I do need to know. This is horrendous. I mean, the fact that, and no disrespect to the lads that work at the tip, they're doing a brilliant job in the sense of, you know, they probably have saved dogs, they have taken dogs back to the kennels or whatever,
made
and
mistakes
I'm
on
not
that day.
knocking that. But on the other side of that coin is they need to be professionally trained. If that's what the council are going to do is use the tip guys to literally go and do that, then they need to get them trained. They can't just say, oh well, you're under our umbrella anyway, so you can come.
Yeah, absolutely.
Do you know what I mean? That's just not acceptable. You can't. And again, that comes back to the time thing, doesn't it? You know what I mean?
It does, yeah.
Were they rushing because they wanted to get back to the tip thing, or was it they couldn't really bother? They're quite happy to sit round here because they were getting paid to do it.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? You know, what's their protocol from where is it, where, or what should they have done? Because did you say that one of them had actually got the dog on the pole at one point?
They tried
Yeah,
to.
they tried to
Yeah.
get
Tried
on
to
the
get
pole,
the
but
dog
they
on
made
the
a really hatchet job of
Yeah,
it.
and then
And that's what frightened the life out of her.
yeah.
So
So
whenever
whenever
they
a
come
high-vis
down,
jackets
Then they
come
said-
down, she was going
Did they
mental.
not say they were waiting for longer poles or something?
Yeah,
We thought the R.S.P.C.A. were going to bring those, but they didn't.
yeah. No, well,
So the R.S.P.C.A. didn't actually bring anything of any.
No, they had
Well,
no
I tell you
dog
what. Let's just say they didn't
They had
bring
no
nothing
equipment.
to actually even take her away if they
No.
wanted to.
they brought nothing that was beneficial to
They
Angel.
even said they didn't have the correct equipment.
Yeah. So then we were waiting for a vet to come
Yeah.
and sedate her. So that was the next
That
thing.
was the next thing, wasn't
Yeah,
it?
so obviously we stayed close again to obviously, you know, we wanted to be around and we wanted to basically say, you know, we claim her.
Yeah.
You know, we'll find her somewhere. So that was the next thing, waiting for someone to come and sedate her. Never happened, never turned up.
No, they made the assessment over the phone.
Yeah. Which, how can you make an assessment over the phone?
You can't, can you?
You just
You
can't
know.
do it.
That's like asking the social services to do the same with a kid.
Yes.
You
You
can't.
just-
So
And if you
it's-
rang a vet and said, my dog's doing this and that, can you tell me over the phone what's the matter with her? He
They-
couldn't
they
tell you.
wouldn't.
No, they'd
Yeah.
say we need
No.
to see her.
Yeah, exactly.
You can't.
Absolutely.
Exactly. So obviously we've got the court case coming up for the owner. What do we know how that's going and what's the situation as far as that? I know we obviously can't talk too much about that because it's being a court case, but
We don't know a great deal ourselves.
right.
No one's made any contact with us for statements.
We know he's
about
pleaded
anything.
not guilty to owning a dangerous dog, having a dangerous dog out of control, whatever the charge was. We have tried to issue statements that we all have regarding the nature of the dog, but they don't want to know. And to this day, I don't understand how Cleveland Police didn't ask every one of us here for a statement on that day.
Yeah.
Nobody's been approached.
There was,
None of us
there
have
was
been
no,
Really?
there was
No
no
one.
posters to say, you know, did you
No one
witness
took our name.
anything? Did you?
Nobody
What did you
took
say? Were you
anything.
around at
So-
this time? Did you?
Ma-
Nothing.
My question is then, can we actually go to court on that day and actually ask to speak to the judge to be able to hand in these things?
We don't know.
I
We
don't
don't know how to
know.
go approach
Yeah.
that.
We're not quite sure.
So we're
And nobody
actually,
will tell us
I
that's
tell you what, on
I
that
think that I
note-
think the judge should actually be aware of all the facts.
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
I think
If
I think
she's
they
gonna
need to
make a
look at both stories. Yeah, both
Well,
sides of
to
it,
be
yeah.
fair, by the signs of it, she don't need to go in the courtroom. She can ring up and she'll make a judgment from her home.
Yeah, I know.
Isn't that what they do nowadays? Don't they say
Well, yeah,
so?
no bees, yeah.
If they follow suit.
You know what I mean? So, I know we've got, obviously, you've spoken to John Cooper as well, haven't you?
Carol.
We have
That
done
was-
previously,
yeah.
yeah.
I think that's something maybe we could have a word with John about and ask him if we could actually go to courtroom and actually hand in things,
Yeah.
or even send them to the judge care of the court.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe that's something we can look at and see if we can
Yeah.
all send letters in and get people listening to the show to actually write in
Yeah.
and ask, could these actually be taken on? You know, there can't be where they can shut and choose what evidence they want to take. Surely to goodness, we've got rights to
Yeah,
put stuff
we
forward.
need to know the best steps of moving forward now. You know, we now need to, you know, we've done this today, you know, which has been amazing.
Yeah.
It's been
Just
amazing.
keep the awareness
Yeah.
there for people, really.
It's always
Yeah.
been doing.
We want everyone to know, you know, exactly
We're
what
still
happened.
here, and
You know, we are still
A lot
here.
of people want to know
Yeah.
as well, and we keep everybody updated.
Yeah,
with
we
everything.
update.
So
Yeah,
there's
everything
over
gets
2,000
updated on the
people on
group.
the thing. So
Yeah,
Yeah.
and we're more than open to if anyone wants to ask any questions. You know, we're more than happy to tell people what happened on the day. Any questions anyone's got, we're more than welcome to answer them. You know, we've been open from the beginning.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
we've been transparent. You know,
Yeah.
we're not a vigilante.
we're just campaigning for the truth.
Yep. That's
And
exactly
I
what we
think
are.
I think the other thing is, I mean, it's really hard when you're on Facebook, and we're all prone to this. You read a story and think, well, why didn't they do this? Why didn't they do that?
Yeah.
And I have got to say now that I've come and I've spoken to you guys, I have nothing but respect for every single one of you, because all of you have done so much. You made such a huge difference. There's loads of people who just carry on walking past that fence on that day, and you didn't. And it's damn well hard when your heart is into it, and you guys have got flipping massive hearts. Do you know what I mean? How you've been out there today, and how you've been on the Facebook page and working, I can't help. I know everybody listening to the show is 100% behind you, and I know that we've got people listening literally from America today. We've got it global. Do you know what I mean? And we're going to continue with this. I will be getting in touch with all of the people who've said that haven't answered. I will be ringing up. I will be recording the calls. And for everybody who thinks that justice for Angel and this poor dog died in vain, no, she didn't. We are not giving up. This dog was put here for a reason, and she is an angel up there. But we're going to make sure that this doesn't happen to any other dog in the UK, not just Hartlepool. And just for the record, I want to say that don't judge Hartlepool by the fact that you've seen that a dog was shot here. That was just because of authorities. This wasn't because of these people. These people have made a beautiful town. We've only gone up as far as the beach, and I'm falling in love with the place already, and I'm coming back. But we will be finding out when this court case is. I think, let's have a quick thing of what do we want to do next? Where do you want to go from here? What do you want to do from here, really? What can people help with?
Yeah, so the petition.
We need the petition. We need
How much
the
are we up to on the petition?
So far we're up to 740. I think
It's a new petition, isn't
but
it?
it's a brand new one. The previous one, it was worded incorrectly, so it wasn't set in lines with the government and with DEFRA as well.
It was set up emotionally on the.
It was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can we actually use part of that? Because I have been told.
There was
I've
56,000 UK residents on
Yeah,
that,
yes,
and
we need
200,000 plus
100,000
worldwide.
Right, but I
So-
think I've been told that we can actually use that petition part
Can we?
of.
Right.
So I will obviously
Yeah.
follow
fantastic,
we'll follow up
yeah.
with that.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Brilliant, thank you.
I don't mean to be funny. I think all of us can all do a few thousand, and we'll just do a damn big lot of job emailing everybody and say, right, you need to re-sign this one. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So if anybody signed a petition first, when it actually first happened, please make sure you've checked out and go and sign the new one. And please don't just sign it, you need to share it. We need to retweet it and everything.
We're on a time limit.
Yeah, we've got
So,
6 months.
got
That's
6
all you
months,
get
yeah.
with a government petition.
So we've
Right.
got 6 months to get 100,000.
Yeah.
So when's that up to?
signatures.
When does that actually up to? Do you know?
So I think it was
We've just
September.
set it up, haven't we?
Yeah, so it's September. So
So
we've
we've
got
got
till September.
We've got a bit of time to actually
Yeah.
do it. But
Michael will take it for us. He said he will take
He
it to
will,
Parliament
yeah.
for us.
Right.
That's our MP.
Yeah,
Right,
so-
okay. And also there was another councillor that he did bring up when John was videoing, we did the Facebook Live before. He did mention about a councillor apparently that's actually a dog lover and was actually part
right.
of the police thing. So maybe we need to speak to her as well.
Councillor Katie Shrew. Yeah.
But if anybody else is listening to this and is maybe you're in Hartlepool or you've literally followed the story and you know people in the know, whether I don't care if you're a solicitor or you're a police officer or whoever you are, and you can give us some information that might be able to help, everything will be confidential. So if anybody wants to email me, hello@asu.co.uk. Confidential, I'm not bothered, I'll keep your name secret if that's what you need, but we just need the information, the support for these guys to literally get it out there.
You can follow us on Facebook, Justice for Angel.
Yeah.
I said it's updated daily.
Yeah. And
You want a
that
page
is
and the group,
through
haven't
your
you?
Yeah,
page
we've got
as
the
well.
page and the group. Yeah, so if you go to the page, you'll be able to find the group, and you can join the group, and that's where everything's updated daily, and there's group discussions on there as well. So yeah, and obviously you've got the Just Give 'em page on there. We've got the
We've got
petition
bands
on
as well,
there.
we've got
Yeah, we've
bands,
got
we've
wristbands.
got
Oh yeah,
ribbons.
come on, let's show the
Yes,
bands.
we've got our wristbands.
Got me band.
And obviously each ribbon represents people who have donated,
And
Yeah.
things like that.
people's clubs, yeah. And Wishes for Angel.
We would love to
Oh,
know.
We'd
yeah.
love to
Yeah.
know. We would
Yeah.
love to know Angel's
If,
real name.
They know
Actually-
it, but they won't release it.
Yes, the one. Please.
Actually, this is a question for me, from me. If anybody knows if there's any neighbours that are literally nearby to the owner who wants to come onto the R.S.P.C.A radio show and literally do a bit of a statement. I don't care if you're going to stay confidential, you don't want to put your name out there, but please come and join us. I would love to know about this dog. There was more to this dog than it just lying here. Obviously, I've heard that it was being fed, by people nearby and everything. So we've got the neighbours, but also even the owner. I think the thing for me is, my question is, why did the dog get here in the first place? What was going on with the owner? Maybe there's more to the owner than meets the eye, in the sense of maybe he was having a problem, maybe he's got depression, maybe whatever. We're all quick to jump that he don't. The thing is, I don't mean to be funny, he could have walked it on the train track, he could have fastened it to a train track and it could have been killed within 10 minutes. He didn't, he fastened it there. Not thinking for 1 minute that the R.S.P.C.A, a charity that's supposed to say, the police that are supposed to be covering us and helping us, are going to come along and shoot it. He probably wasn't thinking that. But then the question is, Cleveland police, why on earth are you taking this guy to court for literally having a dangerous dog? It's not the site now today. I love doing this live.
You just got that black dark, 2 o'clock in the morning, sitting listening to that. She must have been petrified.
No lights, nothing around.
Do you know what? I don't mean to be funny, but even for us sitting here, do you know what I mean? If you were to sit here
by
at
yourself,
2:30 in the morning,
it's quite dark, isn't it? It's
very
really
dark.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's quite a thing. Right, going back to where I was when I was rudely interrupted. But if the owner wants to actually come forward, I want to hear your side of the story. Why did you actually drop the dog off? What was the situation? And also I want to ask you, why on earth has Cleveland police taken you to court for having a dangerous dog when all these people will stand right behind you and say that dog wasn't dangerous? Do not go to court and say that the dog is that you will just accept it. Don't go and play guilty. You weren't guilty of dropping off a dangerous dog. You were guilty for dumping a dog, and I'd kick your backside for that. But at the end of the day, you weren't expecting anybody to come along and shoot it. So please, again, anybody who wants to get in touch with me, if you know this person, if you know you can organise a meeting with me, with this person, I'll gratefully come back up to Hartlepool and I'll interview him live on Facebook, because I want to know the truth. Never mind the police protecting him and covering him up because you don't want him to speak. No, he does want to speak because he doesn't want to be going to prison and getting done for something that it's not true. It's been proven all today. I have not heard one person say that dog was dangerous. So go to the courtroom and talk out all your lies, because trust me, I will make sure that there's hundreds of advocates outside that courtroom. There won't be the few that we've had today. We'll have hundreds out there, because there is no way that guy's going to get done for something that he didn't do. Because this is about justice, not just for Angel, this is justice about talking the truth. And if you can't go to a courtroom and talk the truth, don't talk at all. It's as simple as that. The only talking Cleveland police you need to be doing right now is to us and tell us what on earth went wrong. R.S.P.C.A, if you can have some person come here and laugh over the body of a dog that's been killed, you need to be reviewing who you actually employ. Unacceptable. That could have actually been any of our dogs. Somebody could have stolen our dog. What if your dog had been stolen and they went and fast it to there, and they just justified that it was dangerous, and before you even had a chance to come here, they went and shot it.
They didn't even know.
They didn't know the situation.
They didn't know whether it was a pet or not because they hadn't scanned it at that point.
Exactly. So it wasn't scanned. It wasn't checked. No vet. The charity was coming. Every single part of it is wrong. There's no part that was right. No. Even down to the shooting. They didn't even do that properly. They shot it from afar. Janet, just video, right, how far? So they were right by the fence when they shot,
yeah, that's right, yeah.
Look at the distance from the fence to here, slowly, Janet. So you can see all that way, literally to shoot a dog that was fastened and was this close to the pole. That's ridiculous. What did they think it was, gun shooting practice? And they couldn't even do that properly because they had to then walk to the dog and shoot her again. You know, what training did them have? Was that a police officer that shot her, or?
We believe so.
We believe so, yeah. It's the pain. It's the pain from whatever they did there to what. It's
exactly.
The pain and suffering that there was no need for it.
The thing is, they may as well. To be fair, and I'm not saying that this should have happened in one sense, but looking at what's happened now, why didn't they just over-sedate him? give her a big bunch of food. If they were going to do it,
Yeah.
do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
If they were actually going to do, if that's what they were considering on doing, why didn't they just
Let her go to
over-sedate
sleep.
her?
Yeah.
And just let her go to sleep right by the pole.
It was the inhumanity of it. It was the inhumane act that took place.
Yeah.
That, you know, and they said all day, you know, they kept saying, you know, we want to do it in the most humane way possible. That's not humane.
No.
That's not
We're
the,
supposed
that's
to
not
be
the
civilised
definition.
society, aren't we?
We are.
And like, we just took a step back to the dark ages.
We have,
going around
and
shooting dogs at
There was
time.
no reason to it, you know, and
Yeah. And I know that you've got the videos, obviously, of it. We're going to forward these to Jim Crosby as well, because I think he needs to have a look at her behaviour.
yeah.
He's well known for his behavioural thing, and I think it'd be good for him to have a look at the video as well and literally say his side. I mean, he comes over to the UK loads, and she wasn't back that day, to be fair. Do you know what I mean? But you know, again, I can't help but respect all of you for what you've done today, and for all the days since. I know all of you have shed tears today, and I tell you what, I feel for all of you. You more so much. All of you have been absolute. all of you have been absolute. Do you know what? A credit to your town, not just about, you know, for advocates, to credit to your town and everything, because there's a lot that just walk on by. Do you know what I mean? Not just for a dog, but for people. You know, you see stuff nowadays, and people just walk on by, and you've just restored my faith in humanity. You know, even though I had a long journey today, and I'm going to be exhausted tonight. But no, you've been absolute. Amazing, all of you. So please, all of you, join Justice for Angel, join the page, join the Facebook page and the group, sign the petition, share, right? I keep saying to everybody, right, you all want media exposure. You've got it right here. I've travelled 2.5 hours today to come up here with my daughter. I've took away my Sunday afternoon. But do you know what? It's because I want to give you media exposure. Do you know what? The way I'll do bigger media exposure, if you all share it. I can't do this on my own. I need you all to share this so that we can get it out there. So don't just talk about it. I know, and I'm quite happy to say this, there's been loads of keyboard warriors that have said you're going to do this, you're going to do that, and you're going to come along. Do you know what? We travelled 2.5 hours. There was another lady that came from Leeds.
Somebody came from Scotland.
Somebody came from...
Dawn.
Oh, Dawn's come from Scotland.
Leeds. It's like in Scotland. Leeds.
So, thank you very much so thank you very much to everybody who's joined us today, and thank you very much for everything you've all done. You've been absolutely amazing. So thank you to everybody who shared the page and the Facebook lives and everything, and we'll catch up with you all soon. Thank you very much. Bye bye.
Thank you.
Bye.